Hey, welcome back. Today, I want to reply to a question that was asked on a previous video where I showed how to project a 3D symbol onto a cylinder. And the question that was asked is how to imprint the projected symbol into the curved surface instead of having it extruding out. So here we go. Now I'm going to quickly go through the process of converting an image to a 3D model, since I've already covered this in previous videos. But I'll start here in Inkscape, which is a free program that I use to convert JPEG images to vector format, and there's a link in the description if you want to check it out. So to convert the image, I'll select it, go to the Path menu and choose Trace Bitmap, and over here in the preview window, you can see how it's looking. And it's looking pretty good, so I'll hit Apply, go to the Layers tab and hide the original image. Then I'll go to the File menu, save a copy, choose plain SVG format, and hit Save. Now in Blender, I'll go to File, Import, Scalable Vector Graphics, then I'll select my SVG file and import. Then I'll window select the object and hit the period key on the number pad to zoom in. Then I'll select it and come over to the Material Properties panel and delete the material. Then I'll right-click and set Origin to Geometry. I'll hit Shift-S and choose Selection to Cursor. Then I'll rotate it up 90 degrees. And I'll scale it up to 2.5 on X and Z. And I'll move it forward on the Y-axis. And then I'll hit Ctrl A and apply scale. Now I don't need any of this around the outside, so I'll switch to Edit mode and hit the number 1 key on the number pad to switch to front view. Then I'll select all of these points. Then hit X and delete vertices. Then I'll switch back to object mode, select the logo, and come over here to the object data properties, and I'll set the extrude amount to 0.006. And I'll rename it to logo. So now I need a curved object to project the logo onto. So I'll hit Shift A and select this round cube. But if you don't see this option in your menu, come up here to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, and search for Extras. Then enable this Extra Mesh Objects, then save Preferences and close the window. So I'll hit Shift A and add a round cube. I'll set the radius to 0.75 and the arc amount to 50, so I have a good amount of polygons to work with. And now I'll move the logo closer to the sphere. Then I'll right-click and convert to Mesh. And now if I switch to Edit mode, you see I have some really ugly topology. So I'll switch back to Object mode and go to the Modifiers panel and add a Remesh modifier. I'll set the type to Sharp, and I'll uncheck this Remove Disconnected option, and I'll increase the octree depth to 8. You might have to go higher though, if your model has more detail, but 8 seems to work pretty well for this simple model. So I'll apply the modifier, and if I switch to Edit mode, you see I have some fairly clean topology now. So I'll switch back to Object mode, and the cursor is currently sitting at the world origin, but I need it to be here where my object origin is located. So I'll hit Shift S and choose Cursor to Selected, and now you see the cursor has moved to this location. So now I'll hit the number 1 key on the number pad to switch to front view, and with the logo selected, I'll hit Shift A and add a lattice. Then I'll scale it down and move it until the lattice fits around the entire logo. And I'll leave it just a little bit bigger all the way around. And now I'll go to Object Data Properties and change Resolution U to 20 V to 1 and W to 20. And then I'll hit 7 on the number pad to switch to top view, and I'll move the lattice to the back edge of the model. Not all the way though, you want the lattice to overlap just a little bit. And now I need to parent the logo to the lattice. So I'll select the logo and then shift select the lattice, then hit Ctrl P and choose Lattice Deform. And now I just need to select the lattice, go to the modifier section and add a shrink wrap modifier. Then I'll click the target eyedropper and select the sphere. And now the logo is projected onto the sphere, but it's looking a little distorted. So I'll set the wrap method to project and then choose the y-axis, and that's looking better. But I want the logo to imprint into the sphere instead of sitting on top of it, projecting outward. So with the lattice selected, I'll apply the modifier, then I'll select the logo and apply the modifier, and then I'll delete the lattice. And now I can move the logo in a little bit, maybe something like that. Then I'll select the sphere, come over to the modifier panel and add a boolean modifier. And I'll make sure I have the type set to difference. Then I'll click the eyedropper here and select the logo. And it doesn't look like anything happened, but if I hide the logo, you see it has in fact cut into the sphere. And I'll come up here to the shading drop-down menu and enable shadows so you can see it a little better. And I'll switch to one of these matte caps, like maybe this gray one. And I'll right-click and shade auto smooth. So this is looking pretty good, but it's still a live boolean. If I switch to edit mode, you can see that the boolean hasn't done anything yet. It's basically just a preview. Now if I switch back to object mode, unhide the logo, and disable the modifier, I can still make adjustments. If I want the imprint to be more shallow or deeper, I can move the logo in or out to get the depth that I want. So I'll go ahead and set it right there, then I'll enable the boolean and apply it. And now when I hide the logo and switch to edit mode, you see the boolean operation has cut the logo into the sphere. So that's about it for this one. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and post them below. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.